Hello, I want to just welcome you. We're going to do a short video today. We're just going to touch on one thing, and that's tuning a guitar. We think it's pretty simple, and sometimes it's easy, but we find ourselves in different situations sometimes and environments, and so I thought I would just really quickly touch base on a couple of things that might help us get our guitar in tune better. Some things that sometimes we're not aware of or we don't talk about, we don't share. And today I'm going to share a couple little tricks. If you haven't seen the video where I go through the must-haves, I talk about guitar tuners. Just a real quick recap and what I'm going to do today. I mentioned on that video these little headstock tuners. They just clamp right on your headstock. I'm not going to use that today because I can't create a very good visual for you. I said on that video they're $10. They may be the other day I was on Amazon and it looked like they were a little bit more than that. Again, you're still going to get them for under $15. A guitar tuner is a must at that price. There's no excuse to not have it. As well as there are a whole host of smartphone apps. I mentioned one on that video, the Peterson iStrobosoft, which is $10 at the App Store, and it's very good tuner. That window. All right, so here we are. So we're going to tune, and so we're going to tune one string at a time. And when you play the string, and I intentionally cranked all my strings sharp before I started. And so we're going to play. I always tune from the lowest to the highest. In this case, you see the little dial moving back and forth. When it gets the two arrows and gets centered, you're going to see that it's in tune. And right now, it's over to the right, and the arrow is pointing the other way. This tuner means it's sharp or high. So sharp is it's too high, flat is too low. And so I'm going to just bring it low. I don't want to be high and come down on it slowly. See if I can get my headstock. It's kind of hard to see on the headstock. If you have your guitar out and you take a look at it, you'll see wraps around your the tuning peg as it comes up. And if you start high and you loosen it, those wraps will get a little loose. And what will happen when you start playing is they'll undo a little bit more and it'll fall flat. As you can just hear, that's a little lower. You can see it's just a little flat. A minute ago it was right on. So what we want to do when we're hot, what we want to do is to get below the pitch and bring it up, and that will keep those wraps tight. So if you've been bringing your guitar down slowly and stopping right when it gets in tune when you're tuning, and then later you go, now it's all out of tune, I just tuned, that may be one reason why, is you didn't actually come up and your wraps have gotten loose. So let's bring that up. Another thing, if you have a guitar that's just absolutely not keeping tune, and if your strings have been on a while, you might consider changing strings. Old strings sometimes don't like to stay in tune. We'll just get that up again. This is not highly accurate, so it wavers. And so there we go. And if you're having problems on particularly the low E, some tuners don't grab it. So if you're having problems, what you can do is tune the overtone. What's happening is getting all kinds of these electronic signals are getting all kinds of the overtones. And E, the next overtone would be an E. The next overtone after that is a B. So you're tuning this low E and you see a B pop up on your tuner. That's what has happened. It's picked that overtone for some reason. And it's telling you. And you can actually tune off of that. But one of the tricks that happens is to come up here at the 12th fret and just barely touch the string and play it. And you'll hear that. Then you can actually see that saying it's a little flat. And that will be a good way. If your tuner's not picking up that note very well, that's a real fast and easy solution. Okay, that's the E. We'll go to the A. It's the same thing as flat. We'll just bring it up into tune. So yeah, just crank it down below pitch, and then very slowly bring it up a little bit. see that dial as it comes up really slow. And again, if you wanted to check the overtones, you can check those overtones. And also, you know, all the overtones, so you'll get the B there at the 7th fret, the A or the E at the 5th fret. You can always use overtones to tune. The other thing about tuning, and this is sometimes the thing that's not shared, when you tune, especially on this, I think on the bigger strings, it helps if when you pluck the string, you pluck it like you're going to play it. Because what you're really doing, this is the tension and the length. It's in tune for this length of string. What happens when you pluck it? You stretch it out. The string gets longer. Then it comes back shorter. In fact, if you look at a tuner, let's just pull that tuner again. Let's pluck it harder. A lot of times you'll play a note and you'll see sharp, but then as it settles in, it comes into tune. See how far it went to the right when I hit it hard? Let's do it again. It's really fast. It's there. But that's one pluck. But if you're strumming hard, it's not ever coming back down. Look, when I do it once, I keep doing it. See how it stays over there? Just a little bit to the right? So if you'll tune the strings like you're going to play them, then when you play them that way, they'll be more in tune. Instead of one little soft pluck, see how much closer that is to. So if you're going to play soft, and when you tune it like you're going to, play like that to tune it, and then when you're playing, and that's how you're hitting the string, then the string as it rings will be in tune to how you're playing it. If you want to play it harder, then you're going to want to pluck it harder when you tune, so that when you play, it's going to be in tune. Again, if I play it softer, you can see it a little bit more to the left. And so as you go through the strings, pluck them like you're going to play them, and you'll be better in tune when you play. And that's probably one of the things that nobody really talks about much when it comes to tuning guitar, because you see people go, hit it once, get it in tune, and go on, and then when they start playing with somebody, it's off, and it's like, I just tuned. But you really didn't, because you're playing the guitar differently. So when you tune the strings like you're going to play them. If you're going to hit them soft, tune them soft. If you're going to hit them hard, then a little harder. Because when you're playing and you're strumming, you don't just go one strum and let it ring. A lot of times you may be getting at it. You may be getting at it a little harder. Let me just get rid of the tuner here. You may be getting at it harder, or you may be getting at it softer. And sometimes it's just a real little. New strings that are stretched when they were put on, a good setup, it's not going to be as noticeable sometimes. But that may be why when you tune and you get going and you get playing, you say, I just tuned, but this doesn't sound right. Again, it's just so important that you're in tune and you learn to hear it. And if you're playing with other people, you need to have a tuner to try. Thank you for your time. This is a real quick lesson on tuning. Let's always be in tune when we play, and you have a good day.